Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's arena time.
And I think it's been a long time since I've played Warrior, unless that's what I did exactly the last time. The exact same thing, because I've been playing Slay the Spire instead. You should check that out. Slay the Spire, pretty cool. Like, single player. It's actually more like Hearthstone dungeon runs, except that you get, like, 20 times as much choice. And there's lots of RNG that makes it different every time. The RNG is... I thought I clicked that. Piece of crap. But the RNG in those is between matches, not in the match like Hearthstone, where everything is friggin' random. Anyway, this card always struck me as like it should be really cool, but I found in practice it doesn't seem that good most of the time. I'm going to take Bloodsail Cultist. I may or may not be getting Pirates to make the weapon thing work, but I'm pretty fond of 3-4 for 3. Sunwalker is it's if you're looking for a big-ish card, then I guess it does a fair amount, but it's kind of hard to justify. It's just not ideal for that cost. Volatile Elemental is pretty good. Shroom Brewer is not really that bad. That's like 4 health is a decent swing, and if you have a damaged minion, 4 health can let you just kill something and have a minion live. This guy may be super annoying, but he's kind of hard to use. I'm going to take the Shroom Brewer. Mountain Fire Armor. It's the 4-3 for 3, and if it dies on your opponent's turn, you get 3 armor. Protect the King is very situational, and those 1/1s, even though they have taunt, tend to not be that great. Mindbreaker, obviously very situational. Let's take the armor. I'm fond of minions. Frostwolf Warlord, very common dude, often underrated, but I think I'm going to take the Fairy Dragon because I don't have any cheaper guys yet, and who knows, maybe dragon stuff. Probably wish it was Frostwolf. Not fond of him, because you get a 7/7 for 5, but it's so easy to beat on him without losing your guys, without taking any damage before he gets to that point. Tentacles for Arms does give you an unlimited weapon, but it's an expensive unlimited weapon. I mean, mid-game, it gives you a little bit of control, but late game, it's just kill. Like, you've got to use your minions to control the board and use this to get through. That said, I've never really played with it. Let's take the Tentacles for Arms. We'll give it a shot. Okay, I don't know if I want to go all in on Tentacles with 2 of them. Blood Warrior's copy of each damaged friendly minion to your hand. That's not the good one. Summon copies of your damaged minions. That's the good one. Okay, they're right next to each other. That's confusing, but sure. Let's take this. It may or may not work out all right, but it's potentially pretty strong. Another 4-3 for 3, and it beats up dragons. I don't care. Elemental, I don't care. I don't care about any of these cards. This is kind of a garbage row. I guess out of that, we'll take the Dragon Slayer. My 3-cost minions covered. Blood Razor's pretty good. Like, being able to deal 1 damage to all minions right when you want to, when you play it. Then you can attack something, and then when it goes away, you do another 1 damage to all minions. It's very useful, gets synergy with warrior stuff, but obviously I have to take Execute. Need those executes to execute things. Like plans. Silver Vanguard. Okay, we're at card 9. So I'd have some time to get myself 8-cost minions, but getting any kind of combo that works off the Death Rattles is just so unlikely. I'm going to take the Raging Worgen and see if I can go crazy with him. Because there should be some, damage minion stuff eventually. Swimming Courser can't be targeted by opponents, can be targeted by you, so it's great for buffing and stuff. Blood Knight, if you have bubbles, he's pretty good. If your opponent has a bunch of bubbles, he's good, but that's such a unlikely scenario that you can't count it. I'm going to take the Bright-Eyed Scout, who is not great for the cost, except she's drawing you a card, which means she's, by definition, kind of good for the cost. Although, I'm going to try and get some more expensive cards, because most of my stuff costs 5 or less, and of course she adjusts the cost of the card to 5. Draw 2 weapons from your deck. I don't think I'm going to have enough to make this worthwhile. I mean, I guess maybe not having enough weapons is why you use it, but no. The Ravaging Ghoul is very good. Pinging enemy stuff, like killing weenies and that, plus triggering your own enrages. Bloodhoof Brave is also good. I don't have any real, taunt yet. And he's a pretty damn good taunt. I've got lots of 3s, but I'm kind of thinking I want the Ravaging Ghoul. I've got the Sudden Genesis. I've got to get a few things that do this. I'm going to take him and regret not taking these. We're definitely taking Frothing Berserker. He's kind of like an always pick, especially in the arena. Alright, well, since I don't have taunt, here's some taunt. Gem-Studded Golem beats. He's a 5-9 for 6. Just assume he's a 5-9 for 6 who can't attack your opponent. If for some reason I have 5 armor or more, then he can attack, but 5-9 taunt for 6 is still pretty stompy, and I need some more big cards, so I'll take that. I need some actual good big cards. Here's another big one with a drawback. This guy is big for 4 mana, but the fact that when he dies, he invariably kills all your minions, not great. Now, if he's your only guy, that's kind of cool, if there's like a control deck type thing, but yeah, we're going to take Hungry Etten here, because 4-10 taunt for 6 is pretty serious. Elementals, I don't have any combos with the elemental stuff. Slam is nice and all, but we got to take another Execute when we can get it. I'll take all the Executes, probably. I can't promise, because if the next 10 cards are Executes, at some point I'm going to stop taking Executes, but like, I'd take another 3 or 4 Executes, probably. I don't have a first turn play, but I don't care if I have a first turn play. You're actually really good, 2 cost, but Tar Creeper is so good I'm going to take him, even though I have lots of 3s. I need more expensive cards. This is bad, though. Is it bad? Gold Barbarian is a 4-4 for 3. It attacks a random enemy at the start of your turn, so I don't get to choose who he attacks. But he's a 4-4 for 3. Sun Fury is actually pretty good. I don't have that much time yet. This thing, like, right now it's 7 mana for a 5-5. Now, if I play any weapon while this is in my hand, boom, now it's 7 mana for 2 5-5s, at which point it is an okay card. But it's an okay card that I have to qualify for, right? If I play another weapon while it's in my hand, then I get 3 5-5s, at which point it's a lot of value, but it's still kind of weird. I got too many 3s. I think I'm going to take the Sun Fury Protector. I think that's probably more flexible. You are a bad... I realize this thing can do a ton of damage, but it's so fragile. Like, I'd rather have the Wind Fury Harpy, which is not a beast, but for 1 less mana, it's almost as big. It's still not great, but this one for 6 mana is pretty good at beating your opponent. Or I could take this guy. The thing is, if I had the right, like, warrior cards, if I had a whole bunch of, like, this guy and other, like, Raging Worgen and stuff like that, this is actually kind of cool. And it could work with Sudden Genesis, but that's, like, such a long-term play. Like, mostly it's not going to help me, so I think I'm going to take the Wind Fury Harpy. Direhorn Hatchling is a pretty good taunt. Upgrade, I mean, I only have 1 weapon in here. I guess it's not going to make that much difference for the tentacles. The Armor Smith's actually not a bad survival tool, but I'm going to take the Direhorn Hatchling. That's like a taunt in my deck, and then it can come back as a really big taunt. Hog, still bad. Bloodsail Cultist, I don't have any other pirates except the other cultist. Right? Yeah, I don't think so. No. Or I can take the Blood to Ichor. I don't have a lot of, like, damage things, and this could help me out. You know what? I am going to take Blood to Ichor now, because I have the Sudden Genesis to worry about. I have 1 or 2... Yeah, we'll see. I can use that and then execute something. Do I take another Gem-Studded Golem? There's too much defensive stuff that costs 6. Heroic Strike is pretty flexible and would let me smash things. He's okay. I'm going to take this and hope I can get more actually big guys, which it really is determined not to give me. 2-2 for 2, gain 2 armor for each enemy minion. That's fine. He's fine, but I took him last time. I'm going to take the Brave, because I have a couple more things that do 1 damage now, so he's like a really good taunt. Good is none of these cards. I guess I'll take the Polluted Hoarder. You can draw me some better card. I need some big, expensive, fat, like, effectively fat thing. So, No. I mean, I like Corrosive Sludge in the format. There are a lot of weapons to worry about now, but I've got to take Grimy Gadgeteer, because because buffing minions in your hand every turn is amazing. The Investigator is pretty lame. Stormwind Champion is very good, and he fills that I'm a big guy thing that I was hoping for. On the other hand, I could use another weapon. How much stuff do, like that, and this is good kill also. How much stuff do I have that cares about weapons? These guys don't even count, because I'm unlikely to trigger them. And of course, because I don't know I'm going to have weapons, I've been avoiding other things about weapons. So I don't have other synergy. I'm just going to take the Stormwind Champion. He's good at, like, winning and stuff. Out of these guys, crappy counter, crappy combo card, unless you have special combo stuff, and amazing, gives you card choice. So, that's pretty easy. You get the armor, you're bad, you're another dragon, which would be 2 dragons, but you don't have any dragon synergy, so you're just kind of like a lame dragon. The armor from him? Probably better off just taking this. Drawback can be pretty bad, but... Okay, we finally got a big thing. What do we want? At the end of turn, cast a spell from your deck. Target chosen randomly. I think this does actually take them out of your deck, which is kind of annoying. I liked it better when I thought it was a copy. Blood to Ichor, a random target. Execute a random target. Heroic Strike. Okay, that one can't fail. That will just give it to me. That's at the end of your turn, so it won't do anything. So, now, this... If I'd gotten this guy early on, maybe I could have chosen some spells or something, but he's actually trash in my deck. Furnace Fire Colossus. Let me discard my one and only weapon to make him an 8/8 for 6. That's not even that good. Charge Devil Sword is, because he's quite good. 7/7 for 8. Charge, but he can't charge people, but he can still charge. Giving all my minions +1 attack is nice, but we're going to take another Stormwind Champion, I think. And last card, so the 1/1 who turns a friendly minion into a 6/6 elemental. This guy, Protect the King. I guess Mossbinder it is. I don't know, my deck has... my deck has a lot of minions that fight okay, but I don't have any strong late-game stuff. I have, like, Tentacles for Arms to try and be a finisher, but I have to be controlling the board for that to work. To control the board with my other cards. I've got 2 Executes, and the, like, Ichor for Blood or whatever, and the Tentacles for Arms. Like, I have some removal. I have do 1 damage guy. I don't know. I'm not feeling confident in this deck. I think my overall minion quality, like how good my minions are for their cost, is pretty solid for the arena. Not excellent, not like impressive, but I think my minions are mostly pretty competent, like minions for fighting. But I don't think that my deck has enough like flexibility or late game strength to deal with just... I think that I'm just going to get beaten by like a Flame Strike or something. Like that's all it would take to beat me is like, oh, I'm finally managing to squeeze out an advantage and then Flame Strike and then I lose the game. Because I just don't think this deck can pro enough. Okay, I have 1,000,000 3s in here. I'm going to save the coin. I'm not going to use it on that. I'm not going to use it just to put out a Sun Fury Protector. Probably play her next turn unless there's something that needs to be smashed. Well, I guess I could coin him out if I draw another 3. Actually, I could save him in my hand to try and get him Grimy Gadgeteered. That'd be good. I don't need to play him aggressively, so let's just do this. I like that plan. If I can get the Grimy Gadgeteer going and buff, either of these guys would become way powerful with +2/+2. He's so good. Okay, Flame Geyser doesn't finish that. Then you're going to play an elemental? Okay. I am totally fine with that non-turn. You didn't even kill it. Like, not concerned about that.
I got this.
I almost should have just traded for that thing so I could play him more safely. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna save my coin. Probably save it the whole game and never use it, but I mean, it's stopping the little flaming poop there from taking out my 2/1. Obviously, the mage can shoot it, but that takes half your turn's mana, as I always say, which, like, if I can make you spend half your turn's mana for something less than taking out an entire card of mine, then it's not bad. Those guys are very good. It's going to have a negative consequence on him, although I've got options. I'm not wasting an execute on him, but I could do Heroic Strike, and I can't do much else with my turn. I'm going to Heroic Strike that thing now. I think that's actually quite worthwhile. Got about the same health. I got a much better board. So I think that that's a pretty good trade for me. Even though it's not what I wanted to do with my turn. But I mean, this guy's going to be good anyway. It's just if I can keep him alive. Okay. So you shuffled 5 random scrolls. Every time one of those scrolls is drawn, it just casts a spell with random targets, like immediately, I guess. And that allowed you to play him for free, because you played a spell that costs 5 or more. So that's kind of annoying, because he will also kill my thing. I could execute him to try and keep... But it's probably not a big... It's still... I'm not wasting an execute on that. I said before... It's still true. I don't want to waste an execute on it. I am just going to... I mean, I could play the Etten and give you another 2, but I can play that afterwards. I'm not going to do anything with my coin. I'm just going to let that stand. Oh, I should have attacked for another 1. Duh. Don't buff him. Yeah. I mean, it was 50-50 you'd buff something I want. Buffing a taunt, awesome. Buffing this guy, awesome. Enemy Etten, not as awesome. Although, if you're not killing through... If you're not just blowing up this guy, he's going to give me a huge... He's costed around the fact that he probably doesn't survive a turn. He just survived a turn. So, that's awesome. Unless she has like a Dragon's Breath or something. Yeah, okay. The thing that gets cost reduced, but I didn't think so. So I could Blood to Ichor this guy and execute him. That's a lot of killing. That's big enough, like that. There might be a better target for the execute, but that's pretty impressive. You can also just play this guy and hope to like block him that way. But no, I'm thinking to do this. Gives me a 2/2. We execute his face. Do that. Get to do beatings with him. That's really rare. And I'm going to coin out this guy. So if I get Flame Striked, at least I'm getting a card back. It also, playing something other than him increases the chances that he would get buffed, which is what I really wanted. Because at 3/3 he's still pretty fragile, but I mean, if he gets damaged and is still alive, then that Wind Fury does even more. Although at this point, she's got to like Flame Strike or Blizzard, or I'm just going to win because I'm just doing too much damage. Like, not guaranteed win, but really likely to win. Plus, my hand is pretty buff. Alright. What are you doing? Mirror Image. That's fine. We're not worried about the mirror image. What are you really doing? Other than lagging out my piece of crap computer. You're shuffling in another 5 random scrolls. You are just going to go full random on this and hope for the best, eh? Well, I am going to go keep buffing my guys on this and keep beating your face in the meantime. That was dumb. I should have played him before attacking with everything. I don't want to play him now. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Because if I played him, he could generate like a Doomsayer and cause me to lose. Whereas he's also beneficial to save it as a surprise that I have an absolutely inconceivably large taunt now. So let my opponent play things without the awareness that I have that big defense. This will survive a Flame Strike, so I'm in much better place now. That could be rough. I could have gotten a Warlock Potion to do 3 damage to everything, which I would not appreciate. Although then she would die, so because she'd be at 6, and this guy would still be alive. So I guess that'd be fine. Maybe surrender time. Dirty rat. Oh my shit. You managed to pull the worst... Yeah, you punk. If you pulled him, there would have really been surrender time. Dirty rat managed to pull out the guy I didn't want it to pull. But still clocked a win there. We'll just have to see if we can get any more wins next time.
If you enjoyed this, please activate the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Demonac Games for more Hearthstone Arena and other gaming videos.